Mr. Graham, homework help. Yeah. All right, here we go. It's the first day of the week, and I always go easy on you at first. You should be on page 26 in your workbook. I don't have every part of page 26, so it helps if you have your book open while you look at the screen. Look at the very top. I'm talking about the little itty-bitty paragraph in that white box. It's not on the screen. You can't see it if you look at the screen. It's in your book. A toothpaste company surveyed 36,219 customers about their favorite toothpaste flavor. The data will be used to help the company decide what flavor to continue making. To the nearest thousand, about how many customers were surveyed. So we got a round. And these little questions right here, they help us round. To which place value position are you asked to round? So if you look at the last sentence in that white box, it says to the nearest thousand. So we're asked to round to the nearest thousand. Okay, that's supposed to be a U. Sorry, it's hard to write on this. Now it asks us to count by thousands. 30, 31, 32, 33. Oops. Yep, 33. But don't just say 33. You got to put the thousands. Ugh. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this a little bit easier for myself. Then there's 34,000. Oh man, this is going to be so slow going because it's easier for you to write than it is for me to type it or write with my mouse. So you know what, I'm just going to say it. So please stay with me verbally. 30,000, 31,000, 32,000, 33,000, 34,000. Then you want to put 35,000, 36,000, 37,000, 38,000, 39,000, and then after 39,000, 40,000. I didn't write all of them. You should. You should write all of them. But there you go. Between which two thousands is the number 36,219? So that's between two thousands. Not 2,000 a number, but two things on this list. It's between two of them. Well, one of them is obvious, and that's 36,000. It's between 36,000 because look, in the number itself, it says it right there. 36, 36. What's the other number it's between? Well, it can go as low as 36,000, or if you're rounding, it can go as high as 37,000. So 36,000 and 37,000 is what the number is in between. How far from 36,000 is 36,219? How far? Well, it's 219 bigger. Don't you see that if you took away this 219, it would be 36,000? So how far is it? It's 219 units away. Explain how you could find to the nearest thousand about how many customers were surveyed. In other words, they want you to round. Here are the steps for rounding. Number one. Come on. Number one. Figure out which place to round to. And in this case, that is the thousands place. We talked about that up here in this first part. Number two, look to the right of that number. So the right of the thousands place will be right there, the hundreds place. And after you look to the right, there's a third step. Third step, third step. Please go faster. Jeez. You look to the right of that number. Then decide if it is 5 or more or 4 or less. 5 or more equals rounding up. 4 or less equals rounding down or staying put. So basically what I would do is I would look to what place they want me to look at. They want me to look to the thousands. It said that in that paragraph in the white box on page, the top of the page of 26. Then I would look to the right, and I would decide if that is 5 or more, 4 or less. That 2 is 4 or less. 5 or more means rounding up. 4 or less means rounding down or staying put. So what's going to happen is the thousands place and everything to the left of it is going to stay put because that 2 is 4 or less. Everything else after that, though, everything on this side of the number is going to zero out. Zero out. Yeah, yeah. All right, cool. Explain how you could round 14,682 to the nearest thousand. So basically, they want you to explain one more time. First, find the thousand. Where is it? Right there. That's the thousands place. Next, look to the right of it. After that, decide if that 6 is 5 or more or 4 or less. Obviously, 6 is more than 5. So we're going to round up. Last, round up, and everything to the right of where you're rounding turns into zeros. So that 1 stays the same. The 4, that's the thousand place, that's the one that's changing. And how is it changing? It's going up because of that big O 6. And then everything else to the right zeroes out. So 14,682 rounds up to 15,000. Now I verbally explained what you might want to write here, but I didn't actually write it because it's hard for me on the computer. So what you might want to do is replay the video or rephrase it in your own words. But you can't just write symbols and shapes like I did. These symbols and lines and stuff, they're here to help you, but you got to write your own explanation. Alright, as usual, Monday night homework is not so bad. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you next time.